The peepers have finally arrived here in New England, and that only means one thing. It's time to get ready for spring. It's another early morning, and I am getting ready to work in the basement a little bit more. And I'm going to have my coffee, but this isn't going to do it. This is going to do it. So today's video is not going to be about the basement takeover decorating, but I'm going to give you a quick peek. And for some of you who did not see, we have a basement in our house that has not been touched probably since the 50s. And I'm finally going to get some painting done. And it's just a quick fix. Mind you, it is an old basement. There's exposed pipes and everything in the ceiling. But for 2 cans of paint and a can of trim paint, it came out, I think, pretty darn good. So I'm looking at probably about $200 total to do this, and probably even less. And I'm going to save this video for a little bit later. But for now, I wanted to show you what I'm getting done here decorating for Easter and for spring. I had some wood eggs already in storage that I brought out, and I also had these pussy willows that I had in storage from last year. I decided to keep them. I've kept them in the past when I had my retail store, and I would just put them out seasonally if they didn't sell previously, and it worked here as well. So I'm going to use these in the loving cup that is in the sitting room. I love decorating with that piece. But I want to show you the bin. This is the bin they were in the attic, and they have lost a bit of their, what do you call those, puffs? I don't even know what they are. But I did decide to collect them. I don't know why. I might use them for something, and I actually think the shape looked like jelly beans. Now, for those of you who didn't see what I used the pussy willows in last year, they were out front with our urns, and I had some birds with them as well. So I just put them aside, and for the loving cup, I took out the pheasant feathers and I put them in here. Now, I want to show you something. These are real that you're looking at right now, but I have a faux one that it looks so real. I've had this for years, and you really can't tell the difference. It's actually quite amazing the way they can make these faux flowers and picks to look so real. It blows my mind. I'm going to tuck this in here, and you're not going to be able to see the difference. And here they are in the sitting room. Now, the lighting in this room looks a little bit off. I did have to edit it to lighten the room a bit because it's actually dark and gloomy outside. We were expecting rain. It never did come, but I just wanted to show you what they looked like here in the sitting room. And just for fun, I tucked this little rabbit into a hummingbird nest. And to give you an idea, that rabbit is only about the size of a quarter. So I just thought it was cute tucked in there. And if anybody's wondering or upset that I might have taken the hummingbird nest from the tree, I did not. I found it while I was raking last fall. It was actually under some leaves when I was putting in the mum garden, so I didn't take it. What I'm going to show you now is I'm going to be filling up the half basket by the front door that you saw for Thanksgiving that I did. And right now I'm just going to tuck some faux ferns in there and some spring flowers, and I'll probably add and delete things after this video is made, but I thought I would at least share how I'm putting it together. And really I just go with the flow, and once again, you could always move things around. There's a block of foam inside, and I've cut the bottom of a lot of these stems so that it goes in neatly, and I think I'm going to show you that here in just a second. I'm actually running in and out of the house during this because I brought down my bin of florals, because I'm going to put some of them in the basement now in my garden room so that I will have them around me. When I'm making arrangements like this, I like to have different shades of the same color, so I'm popping in some lighter greens, some darker greens, just to give it some depth and dimension. And then I'm going to be bringing in some spring flowers like grape hyacinths. I have even some fiddleheads, and unfortunately for this video I can only find a couple of them. I'm sure there's more in the attic, but I didn't have them while I was making this. So here I have one lone robin's egg blue grape hyacinth, but I know I have more, just have to find them. Same thing goes with the fiddlehead. I know I have more. The bins must have got separated, but I'm going to tuck that in here for now. And when I find the others, I will add them as a grouping and just put them together. And then I'll make sure when I take this apart, I will put them in the bin together so this won't happen next year. Now I'm going to add this pick. I don't know if these are cherry blossoms or apple blossoms, but it has also a little nest on it. And I'm just showing you I had two nests, but I've decided to go with the one that's attached to this long pick. And I like this because I can let things trail down and hang from the basket. Once I get the pick in, what I like to do with longer vines is move them in and out behind and in front of items just to look a little more like what Mother Nature would do. If you go outside and you look at like grapevines or even bittersweet, it goes in and out of other things, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to have some going up, I'm going to have some coming down and going around, and like I said, I'm going to go back and stand away and move things around after I do this. Now I grabbed some white flowers. This one was very white and I didn't like the look of it, so I also grabbed a flower that has some green undertones to it. And for this particular one, it looked a lot better. It blended in nicely and it was just white enough that it did stand out, but not too much. The little cherry slash apple blossom vine had some tendrils that just didn't do well through the winter in the attic. They straightened out of some sort, so I'm just going to take those off because it looked just not okay to me. So those went. Now I'm going to grab a few more flowers and I think I'm going to be done for now. As I mentioned earlier, I like to add different tones of green, so I'm going to add these now. These are some hydrangea leaves that I cut off of a pick before and I saved them for a use just like this. And decorating with faux flowers is just like using a fake Christmas tree. You need to fluff them and turn them and just make things look a little bit more open and airy versus the fact that they were shoved in a box or a bin for a year. I did find some white grape hyacinth stems in my bin, so I'm going to tuck those in as well. And then I'm going to try a butterfly that I brought down from the attic. At our wedding, I had periwinkle colored butterflies in all of the flower arrangements that I made, but I think the butterfly is a little too summery, so I'm going to put that away for now. Well, until I find the other fiddleheads and the other grape hyacinths, I'm going to be done with this for now. And when I add those, then I'll fluff and puff some more and then I'll be done with it. Also in my bin are these white tulips that I saved from two arrangements. They were actually in like that clear acrylic and the acrylic turned yellow. So I clipped them all out and saved them for things like this. Now last year on this exact day, we just had the pussy willows in the front urns and the wreath. Now my screen door, the screen is rusty, so I have to clean that up. So right now what I have are just some topiary balls on the urns, the forsythia wreath, and I put a little basket out front right now. And then I have one of our nation's very first flags that has the tree on it. But I think the red's a little bit too much for the store, so I'm going to change it out. And in one of my next videos, we're going to walk around the yard and see what's coming up for spring, and then I'll show you some more. Well, kindred spirits, I hope you enjoyed today's DIY decorating and getting ready for spring video. And like I said, I have a lot more coming, especially next week. I have a little more time on my hands now that that basement project is pretty much done. And I have a few more videos in queue that I can't wait to share with you. I've even found some things that I'm going to be adding to our online home decorating and lifestyle store. And that's completely a whole different topic, and I will cover that later. But once again, thank you for visiting, and I hope to see you next week. Bye now.